you want to drag, slag, push wire. So keep that in mind. Drag, slag, push wire. So you always want to be in a dragging stage with this. However you go, right-handed, left-handed, whatever, just drag. I try to set, one thing with Fcaw, I try to set it where I can do all positions with one setting. I don't like to, oh, I'm up here now, well, I'm going to change it. I set it one setting, family, and I'll be able to do everything. So right now I got it set on 22.9 volts and 263 on the wire speed. And we just got it down like this so we can try to do some do's and don'ts. And like I say, first thing we're going to do is a long stick out. Let's see how it works with a long stick out. And we're going to try to maintain this long stick out and see what happens. See, it kind of splutters a little bit. Kind of splutters a little bit, popping. So this laying in there, but let's see how it turns out. See, it get a little bright. I'm trying to keep it extra long. All right. So with that one, family, I ran a long. Yes, I need to invest in me one. Hey, somebody asked me, man, you need to get you a good lens to put on it. Fam, if you send me one, I swear I use it. But I need to get one for real, though. I need to get me one. I need to invest. So, and look, and I thought it was going to happen. So I'm going to show you where I'm actually pick this up. And this is not too, it's not too, we're going to leave. We're going to leave on there for now so I can be able to grab it because it's going to start getting hot, fam. All right, so this is what happened from the long arc. Now, as you see, I got some pinholes in there, but if you really look at it, the bead actually wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. Really wasn't bad. So it's based on the person, but I had about 1.5 inches. So as you see close to the end, it started telling on me. I got a lot of holes in it. I got a lot of holes in that one. So what we're gonna do with this next one, let's see what happens if we get too close to the, so that situation, we got too far. So now we're gonna act like this is short circuit MIG, and we're gonna get real close like short circuit MIG and see how that's affect our weld. We're gonna try to get as close as we can without touching it and messing up our tip. All right, with that one, I kept it real tight. Let's see if it messed up any. Like, I was real tight. Did y'all see me? I was tight. No, I'm actually doing some things to show you what'll happen if you do it wrong. I got the holes in that one because I was having a real long arc and it was allowing air to come in. It was way too much. My gas actually wasn't covering it because I had too long of a stick out. Now, you can get pinholes if you get air into the weld while you're welding it, but normally they're gonna have it, you know, where you're not gonna be getting that gas or that airflow while you're doing this, unless you're outside or something you can't. Now, I was real close then, and it still did okay. I see a couple small worm tracks, but it did all right though, and I was real close. So you really have to, you really have to dig it up in there to really mess it up. Now we're gonna run it. Now we're gonna push it and see what happens. Cause we really want to pull it up. We really want to pull instead of push, but we're gonna push it this time. Just slow down. If you go too fast, you can get undercut. Normally, if you get the proper travel speed, it allows the weld to fill up as you go, so it'll fill in. But if you're going too fast, you kind of like cutting the metal and not allowing the weld to fill into it. So if you slow down and get that proper speed, I think that'll eliminate that undercut for you. So now we're gonna push it this time and see if we can get a messed up weld and see how it looks. All right, family, I pushed it. Now, pushing it, I got more BBs for sure. I got a lot of more BBs. But the weld wasn't bad, actually. And like I say, you can push and pull it now, but when it comes to a test, because they had tested and they was like, push it all to see if it really affected, and pushing it didn't really affect the bend that much. And he had pushed one side and he had pulled the other side just to see was it gonna be an extreme difference. And it wasn't the difference that we really thought it was. He thought it was gonna be a lot worse. But we pushed that one, look, and it wasn't bad. It made a lot of splatter though. I got a lot of splatter with the push. So with the push, it seems like we're gonna get a lot of splatter with the push. So I'm gonna take this grinder and I'm gonna knock some of this splatter off, because I got a nice little amount. Knock some of that splatter off. So this time, fam, Okay, Flux scores, where is that, fam? Flux scores, where is that? So we're going to do a couple do's and don'ts and see if we can get it right. You know what? I actually got some MIG welding videos that can help you, but you really need more of a fabrication, because when you're making something, when you're welding it, you got to think outside the box. It just ain't like running regular beads. When you're fabricating, you literally have to think outside of the box, and you got a little bit more leeway on what you're doing if you're fabricating. So keep that in mind. But I will work on something for you. Keep me in the loop and stay in the loop with me. Inbox me so we can come up with an idea, kind of tell me more about what you're building, and see if I can give you some input on it. Yes, I'm about to. Okay, I'm about to. I'm gonna do it. I did it one way. Now I'm gonna go the other way. Let's try it out. We're gonna go this way and do it and see how it rides. Okay, that wasn't bad. Got a little tight splatter, wasn't bad. We're doing both. We're pushing and pulling to see which one is going to give the best results. But in my personal opinion, I would always drag slag and push wire. Now, if you're fabricating something, you don't have to do that. If you're fabricating with the flux core, you can push it or drag it. But if it's going to be tested, if it's going to be x-rayed, I would always say drag, slag, push wire. And yes, we are running with dual shield. We are running dual shield. And this is how this one turned out. Wasn't bad at all. I left a little piece of slag. Hold up. See that little piece of slag I left? Wasn't bad though. Wasn't bad. So you literally want to, I would say literally set everything down and try some things. Try what might not work. Salute. I appreciate that. Yes, sir. So if I was you, that's what I would do, fam. I really think that if you try it like that, I think it'll really help you. Like, so if you're fabricating, you can really do both. But if you're doing something that's gonna be tested, I would drag it for sure. Because if it's in there, it's gonna pop up in the x-ray, fam. I remember one time, family, I was doing an x-ray test and I was doing pipe. And I had barely got my tungsten in there. I'm like, ugh, I barely touched it. I'm like, oh, I can wash it out. It's gonna be all right. Fam, the well was nice, everything was good, but when they x-rayed that thing, it showed that tungsten right there. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, you like you barely got a little tungsten in it right there. I'm like, dang, I did. I did, fam. So I should have cleaned it. It was my bad. Family, I think it's one of the greatest careers you can start, honestly. It's a game changer. I'm using 045 wire. Some of the companies that hire, they do 045 and a 16 wire. They do both. Happy Friday, man. I hope everybody is doing well, got good plans on their plate, enjoying their family, all that good stuff. Now I'm actually gonna do one pretty much the proper way. Let's see how it runs. We've been just trying different things. We're gonna do some uphill too. And you want to try your angle. If your angle right, you want to make sure you can see. The main thing when you're doing this, you want to make sure you got the right angle, travel speed, make sure you can see the puddle. Sight is everything. If you can't see where you're going, you're probably going to mess up somewhere. So most definitely make sure you can see, family. Make sure you can see. This coupon is starting to get hot. See, we've been dropping. I don't think it's too bad yet. That turned out pretty good, though. So just keep trying different things. And literally, you want to know what you can't do. So one of the things you don't want to do is you don't want to go too close. You want to make sure you keep a 5/8 to a 3/8, a 5/8 to a 3/4 stick out. At least 5/8 to 3/4. You always want to drag it in whatever direction. If you're left-handed, right-handed, just a drag motion, whatever, you know how you're doing it. You want to make sure that your gas is at least on between 30 to 40 pounds. And if your wire is left out in the elements, that can also help you get some worm tracks as well. But most companies, when you go in a test, they're going to make sure you have good wire. It's going to make sure everything is good. But if you see anything that's wrong, sometimes you can't run across getting some bad wire. I done had some bad wire before. So it happens, fam. It happens. But the main thing, fam, is you don't want to push it. You know what I mean? Because it's got slag. Now, like I say, if you're fabricating, you got more leeway. If you're making something that is not going to hold pressure, that's not going to be x-ray, you can push it and get a nice, pretty well. You know what I mean? So it ain't like you can't get a well, but it's just coming to do the drag thing. So for those who are working on Fcaw, I like to say Fcaw is like the advanced 7018 rod. So you know how the 7018, you just get it and just drag it and it just lay pretty beads. To me, that's what the Fcaw is. Fcaw is like the advanced version of a stick rod, 7018. You can cover more grounds, but you can still get good wells. And as long as you got a good angle, fam, they'll drop in every time. Every time. Thanks for checking in, fam. Hey, fam, you should. If you got the opportunity, find where it's at in your area. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas. Our program is 16 weeks, and we are at the Goodwill Academy off of Scott Hamilton Drive. The main tips for stick welding, family, going uphill is just like, the same thing I would tell you on this, getting started. The stick is a little different because we see with this, let me show you something. With this, I can actually keep my distance right, and I can just go up. You see what I'm saying? With the stick, I'm back here. Not only do I got to go up, I got to push in too at the same time. So you're doing more. You pushing in, you going up. So you got a little bit more, a couple more things that you're doing. So the main thing I would say, make sure you got the proper angle. Keep it real tight, fam. You want a tight arc, like literally. You barely want to see that arc. If you see it, if it's real bright, that means you are not close enough. You're not close enough, it's real bright. You want to get up on it, and you want to have that light control, your arc controlled, and you literally want to watch the puddle. As long as you get your gap right, your angle right, and your travel speed, you'll be okay. Oh man, I MIG weld pipe all the time. Ain't nothing wrong. They got a couple different processes out now that they're doing a lot of root passes with MIG. Yes, sir. We got to get them into the trade, fam. That's why we doing it, fam. Yes, I do, fam. Yes, I do. I teach every day, pretty much, except when I'm off. You just want to make sure you get your whipping down with that 60-10. You're going to have to whip it. The stepping motion, get that down. Salute, salute. Thanks for checking in. Eliminate starts and stops. Now, especially when it comes to this flux score. If you're testing with this, you don't want no tie-ins. Tie-ins is only going to cause you. Now, you can have one if you got to, but my personal opinion, I wouldn't have no tie-ins on no test. I go start at the bottom, finish at the top, and it just makes it a whole lot easier. Yes, always grind, and that's another thing. Before I started practicing on this regular coupon, I grinded this down to make sure it was better, and it helps us to weld and lay in a lot smoother once you do a little preparation, family. Yeah, MIG flux core, family. That's the way to go when you're trying to hurry up and get it done. Right now, I'm running about 22 volts and about 260 on the wire speed. So now we're about to go uphill. We're gonna go uphill on one. Where we gonna start at? All right, we're gonna start right here. Smooth selling, fam. Smooth selling. Oh, you better believe it. I do it all, fam. Stick, MIG, whatever makes the money. That's what I'm into. I'm into the money. So here go one I just run. The main goal, fam, you just want to you see the travel speed is about the same. And you can tell your travel speed by your bead width. If it gets fat and skinny, that means you was literally going different travel speed. I see some people do a slight movement just to help them keep up with the travel speed. There's nothing wrong with it. If you got to do a little movement to keep it, keep everything straight, ain't nothing wrong with it. Do what you got to do. Yeah, it takes some time getting used to it. I haven't done a lot of it, but I have did it before. Yes, I'm running 045 wire, fam. DC. DC current. Now we're going to run one on my guy overhead because he got both coupons here. I actually got to practice it on both. He's starting to get a lot better on his overhead. He's just trying to stay more consistent. I'm just going to drop a couple in here, at least beside that one. The main thing is making sure you can see, making sure you're comfortable in the way you hold the gun. I actually got one in my in my bio. Check out my series. I did a whole series on flux score, uphill and